dropshipping dead? Stay tuned to find out. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate it. If it's your first time tuning in today, please do not forget to click that like button. Drop a few comments below, subscribe or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right into it today. I have so much to say. If you are not familiar with what dropshipping is just a way for people to sell products online without actually having to purchase their inventory and keep it themselves up front. Basically, you have your own storefront, you put those products in your store, your customer comes to your website, they place the order with you, you then go to your supplier, whether it's in China, Philippines, or wherever your supplier is located in the world, you then place the order with them, pay them, and then they'll go ahead and ship the item to your customer for you. Dropshipping, you're just picking a product, you're throwing it on your site, you're marketing it and trying to sell that product. You don't even ever have to touch it. Same concept with print on demand. You don't actually have to touch the product, but you are customizing the product. So you're looking for the specific item and then you're putting your own finishing touches onto it, getting inspiration from other sellers and so on to try to make your winning product. Some back history here. I started my e-commerce journey in December of 2020. And I started it because I was being targeted for an ad on Instagram. And it was from this guy that had about, I want to say almost 1 million followers on Instagram. Sometimes we think that's credibility by the amount of followers you have, not actually keeping in mind people can buy those. Or you can do a bunch of shout out pages and you will gain hella followers very fast. Those are not going to be solid followers though. Those are just followers. That's all they are. The number doesn't actually mean anything. What means something is the quality of those followers. I have since learned this in my e-commerce journey that social proof isn't really everything. You know what I mean? So I was targeted with this ad on Instagram. And I clicked and it was like a free 2-hour masterclass and you'll learn everything you need to know about dropshipping where you don't need to touch any inventory and you can start making thousands today. Well, anyone in their right mind would say, let's do it. Jump on the idea of making thousands now without touching the inventory and without literally having to spend anything. Like, it sounds amazing, right? No.
Yo, it's not funny. It's really not funny.
So at the end of this masterclass, I was presented an offer for $2,000 to sign up and join this person's course, I guess. I'm not going to actually name drop in this video. So I purchased this $2,000 course. Immediately, it was super janky. It did not jump to the T. It did not jump to what I was actually paying the $2,000 for. What it jumped to is, here is a list of books I want you to read. There's like 10 or 15 different books listed. Then there was a list of YouTube videos that he recommended you to go and look at. And these YouTube videos were literally like 2 hours long each. And there was maybe, 10 to 15 of those also. And then there was just a lot of that. There was a lot of do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, like a little checklist, right? It makes sense, right? There's a checklist for everything. But the things that he was telling you to do before he was about to jump into the actual material was ridiculous. So you need to go through all of these lists of items, finish all of these, mark these all as complete before the actual content, the core content that you paid for.
2,000 years later.
So fast forward, obviously I ain't got time for that. All right, let's be real. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward that shit. So I fast forward and it's literally just nothing. There's nothing about ads. Everything is, oh, start this with no money, start this with no money. If you are here because you're genuinely curious about dropshipping, if there is anyone, and I don't care who it is, if there is anyone on any platform, anywhere, telling you that you can start dropshipping or print on demand with $0, that's $1 million lie, okay? And if I had $1 million, or even if I had $1 for every time I saw some dropshipper or YouTuber or some clickbait article saying start drop shipping and start making thousands now with $0, I would laugh in their face and report the ad as false advertisement, because let me tell you, it's a waste of time and energy. Okay, do not fall for it. Some realistic expectations just to start. It takes a lot of money to start this business. The number one bill you have is starting your drop shipping store. Now, if you're going with Shopify, they do offer you a 14-day free trial. Whoop-de-doo. can't do anything with that 14-day trial. You can't start accepting payments on your website until you pick a paid plan. The number one paid plan starts at $30. And any little tiny apps that you're gonna add onto your store is also money. And then if you're gonna go ahead and try to market, I'm gonna go ahead and say 99.99% of e-commerce businesses, unless they're huge and mega businesses like Kylie Jenner, Nike, things like that, they probably don't need to put too much money into their marketing because the brand will sell itself. But if you're just a random Joe Schmo like myself, you're gonna have to invest money into your business and into your brand via marketing, okay? That is where it comes from. That is where the money goes. So you have your Shopify store, every little apps that you're adding on. And when I say apps, there is apps that you can add for like little pop-ups, little discounts, little countdown timers, like all of those little tiny things, they all cost something. None of those are free 99% of the time. If you find a good one that is free, it's gonna offer you the bare minimum that app has to offer. So just know that up front. If you want solid apps to up your store a little bit and make it seem a little more upscale, you're gonna need to pay. It turns into a bunch of money. The ads, the marketing is not cheap. And if you're choosing to market on Facebook, it is just out of this world. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're literally gonna just start blowing money left and right, left and right, left and right. So that is what happened. I did this course and it gave me absolutely no value. Here I am, $2,000 down the drain now, and I just started. Just heard of dropshipping, threw $2,000 at it, and already I'm at a negative. So months pass by, about 3 to 4 months pass by, and I'm like, you know what? I am genuinely interested in the e-commerce things. Like, once e-commerce was thrown into my face and it was instilled into my brain what it is and the opportunities that it has for people's lives, I knew this was instantaneously going to forever be my dream to master and accomplish success through. I know that 100%. This is something I am thoroughly invested in. So with that being said, once I knew how much I was interested into it, I said, gosh, well, I need a mentor. I need someone to show me the ropes, someone to swoop me up under their wings and tell me what I need to do, and I will do it. I was desperate. I came across a guru. I don't know if he's not a guru. I mean, he shows a lot of success of his own, and they do have student success. It's not very often I see student success, but I do see it, and he's definitely a guru that posts his own successes very often and very daily. So I chose to invest in this mentorship. This mentorship specifically was about $3,200. So instantly I got access to the blueprint, and then there's a section where you can go ahead and schedule your call. I opted for the 2 calls per week. They had a different package where it was 4 calls per week, but obviously that package was, I think, about $7,000. So it was way more than I was willing and wanting to pay for a mentorship. So I opted for the $3,200 mentorship with 2 calls a week. Jumped in and started scheduling all of my calls right away because I could see that this company was growing. So I wanted to ensure that my calls were going to be at my own time for when I want, when it was more convenient for me. At this point, I was still working my 9-to-5 job. So everything I was doing was pretty much revolving around that because I was a supervisor and my schedule was consistent, but with my job and my health concerns and just the day-to-day life in itself, I needed to schedule accordingly. So it was very, very awesome that they had this where you can go in there and you could schedule your calls. They had a bunch of different days, a bunch of different times. So I was already getting a very good vibe from this company. Instantly, I get my first call, and I'm very shy. So my first call was weird because it was a Zoom call, and you're just on a phone call. You're not actually seeing them in the Zoom call, right? It's just a phone call. And they literally take your screen over on your computer and they're showing you everything, and everything is 100% foreign. When I tell you, I was like scared, like wanting to run for it, because when I saw Facebook and the Facebook ad platform, I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into? This is so difficult looking. It just was so foreign. There was just so many different things, settings and whatever. And I was just like, oh God, I'll never learn this. Like, that's my thinking. I was like, I'm never going to learn this, right? But the person that I had, the consultant, they have multiple consultants. They literally walk you through it. And it's at your own pace. So it was cool up until I feel like they started gaining a lot of momentum with their company, and I started to feel like the care was not caring, if you will. It just seemed very nonchalant, and it wasn't going at the pace that I wanted it to. There's so much to learn about drop shipping, and there were moments in time where I would move and then I would stop. And I wouldn't move from that point. And I think I felt like they got irritated with me. I thought that they thought, like, God, why is this girl still on this step? Like product research, for instance. I just couldn't seem to get that under my belt. No matter what I did, it was so complicated to me. And I would get to this point, and then I would have one consultant come in and really make me feel good about it. Like, it's okay, we got this, right? And then I would go back, right? Okay, and then that call would end, and another few days would go, and then I would get another consultant, a different consultant, which I didn't like this aspect of it because I didn't feel like they were gonna actually nurture me the same. Every consultant was going to be different, and they weren't going to nurture me like maybe the last one did, right? And so that one in specific was actually a girl. All the other consultants, there was like 6 of them, and they were all guys except for this one girl, and she was literally the only one that nurtured me, and I needed that. She made me feel comfortable. She laughed at my jokes on the call. She made me feel like, she gave me the support that I needed, that I paid for, okay? This is what you want in a mentor. To tell you what you need to hear, like, hey, you're doing this wrong, but also good job on this. And, sometimes when you confide in them and you tell them about the things that you're worried about and the things that you don't like about yourself in this business, you want them to make you feel like, I get it, and here's what you can do differently, right? Give you something to turn it around. So she was great, but the guys, half of them were good, and they would take it slow and they would go at your own pace, but then there were like 2 of them. They moved way too fast, and then I would say, I'm sorry, can you repeat this? And they'd be like, I don't even know what I just said. It's like, so you're working on autopilot, not thinking that I'm not on autopilot. I'm writing what you're saying, but now you don't even know what you just said to me. So now my sentence is pretty much like incomplete, right? Because you don't even know what the hell you were gonna say. And then that same consultant, like on another call, he was literally eating his lunch on our Zoom call. Same situation happened. Like, I could hear him munching in the background. I had my calls already kind of guideline on what I was going to ask and the things and so on and so forth. But then we would kind of get off subject of my questions, and they would start saying this, this, and this, and this. And so that's when I'd be like, I'm sorry, wait, what was that last part you just said? They're pros, and they could just ramble at the top of their head, not even knowing what they're saying. But I don't know what the hell you're saying. So he did that again when he was eating his lunch. Like, I'm sorry, what was that? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm eating my lunch right now. What the fuck? I literally stopped showing up to my calls after the last few bad incidents I had from that company and the way that I felt like I was being treated. I was just done. I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. I didn't feel supported. And I was just like, you know what? If I have to blow the $1,000 worth of consulting calls I have left, then so be it, because I feel like I'm going on these calls and they're not getting anywhere. I'm not even getting any value anymore. So I literally got maybe $3,000 in sales while I worked with this company, and that was when it completely plateaued. Like, I couldn't get shit. So months go by, and I am just trying to replicate what I already learned in my notes and in the blueprint that I was provided. All of those things I was trying to replicate, but there was an iOS update, there's a lot of things that were happening, and the course was not updated. So I was working off old stuff. Like, even the face front of the Facebook marketing side of things had completely changed. And it was super outdated in their blueprint that they had provided. So I was literally just working off muscle memory and trying to pop winners myself, but I literally just couldn't do it. Like I mentioned, I was struggling with the product research. So time progresses, and I'm going on YouTube, and I'm just trying to look elsewhere, and I'm trying to find other gurus that could possibly tell me something that I'm doing differently, right? Help me. I just want to learn this. I literally will do anything to be successful in this business. So I find another guru on YouTube, and I follow his YouTube videos for a while, and he has a pretty big following on YouTube. So I go and I hop over to his Instagram. I'm checking his Instagram out, scoping the scene, and he has a pretty generous following on Instagram also. And like I mentioned before, Following is not credibility. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. Please do not make decisions off gurus and their following. I don't care how many YouTube followers they have. I don't care how many Instagram followers they have. I don't care about any of that. What I want to know is the results. Results speak louder than words, and proof is in the pudding. I found another guru via YouTube. One day I had saw him post, if you're interested in my mentorship, hit me up. I want to help 30 more people kill this quarter, whatever quarter it was. I think this was maybe August, I want to say. So August of 2021. And instantly he has me set up with some consulting call. It's like your onboarding call. Hey, you're going to take an onboarding call with me. We're going to work out a plan for you. Awesome. Sounds good. Because I need someone to literally take me under their wing. I need a mentor, not a group of mentors. A mentor who will take me under their wing and tell me right and wrong so I can succeed already, because I'm about done spending money on bull. So I get on this consulting call and it's not even with the guy. That was my first red flag. He was going to personally hop on a call with me because I was DMing the actual guy directly in Instagram. He's like, okay, we're going to hop on this call together and we're going to figure out a game plan. We get on the call. It's some random dude. I don't know who the hell it is. He's hyping it up. He's like, XYZ is gonna really hook you up. It's so amazing. He has helped so many people. He's helped me bring my store to whatever. And all of his methods are so amazing. Just stop whatever you're doing because we're gonna show you a whole new way to do things, so on and so forth. And he sold it to me. He sold me the dream. And one of the things that he sold me on, he said this is a private mentorship, a one-on-one mentorship where I was gonna be able to schedule my weekly calls. I was gonna get 2 weekly calls. He also said that these calls could go on as long as I needed them to. And obviously this sounds like gold. It did sound like too good to be true, but I'm like, well, he's a guru. He has a shitload of followers. It's gotta be legit, right? I mean, he's still going. So I sign up. This mentorship was $5,000. Okay, so we're moving on up the grid now. I expect $5,000 worth of value. So fast forward, I get my onboarding. They shoot me their blueprint, which I get is standard now. They're gonna give you something to follow, a guideline to follow. Okay, so that makes sense. They gave me their blueprint. It was outdated. Okay, very outdated. I could tell instantly because I'm actually very familiar with the site of dropshipping and Facebook marketing and things like that. I'm actually very familiar with it now in August. So instantly I can already see that his blueprint is highly outdated. So I get in there and I'm like, well, where do I book my calls that so-and-so just told me I could book as soon as I got access to the blueprint? Sold me on this, and instantly I'm trying to go book my calls so I can get this going. So I'm talking to the owner, the main guru here, and I'm like, hey, how do I book these calls, right? And he's like, hold on. So then he puts me in a group chat with other people. I don't know who the hell they are, but apparently these are my mentors. I thought I had one mentor. Apparently I didn't. I had more than one. He puts me in this group chat with these mentors, including himself, of course. And he goes, hey, Ashley, so we don't actually book calls here. We just let you guys know when the calls are going to be every week. And you just ask us any questions that you have here in the chat. We'll get to that right away. And then any questions we don't get to or anything that you have outside of the chat, just ask it in the phone calls. That's really what the phone calls are for, is just any questions that don't get answered during the week.
Well, I need a refund. That's something you should have told me before I sat and ordered the order.
Okay, well, that was my second red flag because number one, I thought he was going to be my mentor. Number two, I thought I had actual calls I could schedule based on my availability because like I said, I have a funky schedule and funky availability. So I like to schedule calls based on when I am going to be available and when it's going to be convenient for me to learn and to get on these calls. So that was the second red flag. Already it wasn't adding up on what this other guy literally just sold me an hour ago. But I decided to just give it benefit of the doubt because it could be amazing and it just maybe is a miscommunication or maybe I just don't understand English well. I don't know. Even though English is my first language. Whatever. The calls were never the same day and time. The calls actually happened whenever the they felt like having them, which was random, sporadic. They would cancel it 30 minutes before and then say, oh no, actually it's gonna be tomorrow at midnight. Like, what the hell is that? Who works like that? And that mentorship literally gave me zero value. Literally zero value. I swear to you, all of the questions I got were literally going around in circles. It was like, Ashley, go back to the course. Ashley, go back to the course. Ashley, go watch this video. Ashley, go watch that video. They were referring me to an outdated video the whole month and a half of this mentorship. I literally actually got zero help, and I actually got zero sales because of this. So here I am, $5,000 in the drain again, and absolutely zero value was provided. There are mentors that I wish I had invested in. Cost way more, have a lot less of a following, but like I said before, following doesn't matter. The value that they provide matters, okay? The proof is in the pudding. So you really got to do your research on this. If you are interested in throwing thousands of dollars in a person to show you from point A to point B, I highly recommend you do your valid and thorough research, because there are people out there providing absolutely zero value at high dollar ticket prices, okay? Like, we are not in a business of throwing money down the drain. So fast forward, after all of this and after all of my testing, I am down in the hole over $20,000 in a year I have wasted. And I have maxed out credit cards. I have done so much trying to make this business work, and I'm still working on it. I had someone ask me, why do you keep trying to do this if it doesn't work? Why do you keep throwing whatever money you have left into this if it isn't working? If it hasn't worked for you, why do you keep doing it? Well, the only reason I can give to you is I believe in myself, and I know I'm not stupid. It's just taking me longer than it maybe would a normal person. I don't know, or maybe a person who learns quickly at things. But I believe in myself, and I do truly believe that e-commerce is a real thing. There is millions of dollars to be made in e-commerce. So it is there. It is given to you on a silver platter. You just have to be willing and able to put in the work, to put in the energy, to put in the money, number one, and have money to put into it. If you don't have money, you cannot get far unless you pop a winner right away and you start profiting overnight. You need to have your own money to put in it, whether it's on credit cards or your own assets or whatever the hell it is. Like, you just need to know that up front, because there's a lot of people selling a false dream, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. I haven't made it whatsoever. I am a struggling e-commerce brand owner. Not afford another mentor now. I just cannot do it. It's always something. There's always something that you're putting money into. You're throwing that money in the jar and you're hoping that you're going to spit something back out. And it doesn't always work like that for a lot of us. And it's really unfortunate, but that's why I wanted to be transparent, because not everyone makes it right away. There's a lot of people that struggle, and I don't think people talk about the struggle enough. And that's why I wanted to bring some light to the struggle, like myself. And you may struggle, and you may lose a lot of money, and you may lose a lot of patience, and you may lose a lot of hope in yourself and lose the hope in your dreams. But I just want to be some backbone and support for you. Just keep going. If it's something that you believe in, and it's something that you believe in yourself in, then keep doing it, because the odds are that you will make it. It's just going to take a little longer. You know, some people's journey takes a couple years. Sometimes it takes them a month. Sometimes it takes them a few days. Everyone's journey to the top is different. And that's why, like I said, I just wanted to shine some light on mine, because my journey, I had questioned myself. I've stopped working on it for a week at a time, because I get in these modes where I'm like, gosh, is it me? Am I really that stupid that I cannot ace this and I cannot find success in this journey of mine? This is ultimately my dream. This is the only dream I have right now, to succeed in dropshipping. Just one of those things where we just got to keep going. If you're in this mess like me, just keep going. I hopefully will make another follow-up video to this. But that's all we got for today, folks. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I will be back with more